President Akufo-Addo and his corrupt protege Alhaji Mahama Bawumia. For us in the National Democratic Congress, this disclosure does not come as a surprise. We are on record to have stated times without number that the Agayapa royalties deal was yet another phony scheme cooked by the corrupt Akufo-Addo Bawumia government for the sole purpose of appropriating the mineral royalties of the country for themselves in perpetuity. Ghanaians would recall that during the intense public debate on the infamous Agayapa Deal, the NDC took a principled position to stand with the people of Ghana. We kicked against the whole Agayapa arrangement on grounds that the country's mineral royalties had been grossly undervalued under the opaque deal, and that same was going to deny future governments and generations mineral revenues for development. Consequently, the NDC minority caucus in Parliament staged a walkout when the Agayapa Deal was presented to Parliament for approval. Sadly, but unsurprisingly, the corrupt ruling New Patriotic Party used their numbers in Parliament to approve the sleazy Agayapa Deal in spite of the huge public outcry over the lack of value for money surrounding the deal. The flag bearer of the NDC and inshallah the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, vowed at the time to cancel the fraudulent Agayapa royalties deal if he won the 2020 general elections. A position that has not changed. Several civil society organizations, including Imani, ISODEC, PIAC, the Ghana Integrity Initiative, IDEC, ISEPA, ASEP, among others, kicked against this ripoff called Agayapa, based on sound arguments and alternative proposals, all of which were ignored by the corrupt and nepotistic Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, who were hell-bent on stealing our mineral royalties. Subsequently, the Office of the Special Prosecutor established in its corruption risk assessment report that the Agayapa Deal was fraught with procurement rigging, statutory breaches, potential money laundering, and inimical to the national interest. Eventually, the chilling details of this report, coupled with sustained pressure from the National Democratic Congress and civil society, compelled the president to shamefully beat a retreat and refer the deal, which he had already given executive approval for, back to Parliament for reconsideration, pending the 2020 general elections. My brothers and sisters, throughout our struggle against this Agayapa heist, we never knew and never imagined that the ruling MPP had spent a staggering $12 million equivalent to 153 million Ghana cedis on this deal. With each passing day, and as the clock ticks to the 7th December 2024 elections, for Ghanaians to kick this irredeemably corrupt government out of office, the countless skeletons in their closet of corruption keep unfolding before our very eyes. These are indeed sad times for the people of Ghana. We in the NDC are completely appalled by the decision of this corrupt government to spend this colossal amount of money on the Agayapa scam, which never saw the light of day. It is unconscionable and in fact the height of cruelty that the government of President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia engage in this naked thievery and brazen abuse of the public purse at a time, ladies and gentlemen, that our country was battling the dreaded COVID-19 pandemic, and Ghanaians were reeling under excruciating hardships. Friends from the media, not even COVID could stop our friends in the NPP from stealing from the people of this country and the suffering masses under the guise of this stinking Agayapa deal. As you may recall, the OSP established beyond every reasonable doubt that the Agayapa deal violated the Public Procurement Law, the Public Financial Management Act, and the 1992 Constitution of Ghana, and therefore the entire transaction was null, void, and of no effect. The most startling revelation of the OSP in its corruption risk assessment report on the Agayapa scam was the fact that some illegal payments were made to certain entities under the deal. These entities included Databank, a company which was founded and is still owned by Ken Oforiatta, cousin of President Akufo-Addo, the immediate past finance minister, who has been promoted to the position of senior presidential advisor on the economy and special envoy on international investments and the capital markets. The OSP also found similar illegal payments were made to African Legal Associates, a law firm belonging to Gadi Ochredakun, cousin of President Akufo-Addo, who today says he has resigned from Ghana's politics. Ladies and gentlemen, all these payments were found by the OSP to be unlawful, hence null and void. Yet till date, these payments, which did not benefit the country in any way or provide any value to the country, have not been retrieved by the state. These are indeed sad times for the people of Ghana. My brothers and sisters, we all know what good this gargantuan amount of money we are talking about, which is equivalent, like I said, to 153 million cedis and 1.5 trillion old Ghana cedis, could have achieved in Ghana's bankrupt economy if it had been put to judicious use. This money could have sufficed to pay the cost of several months of treatment for all kidney patients in Ghana, 19 of whom died painfully following the shameful closure of the Kolebu renal unit over government's 4 million Ghana cedis indebtedness. The debt at the renal unit at Kolebu, for which reason that whole unit was shut down for months, leading to the avoidable deaths of 19 kidney patients. Why? Because we didn't have 4 million Ghana cedis. Yet we have wasted 153 million cedis on a deal that never materialized, a deal that was aborted owing to our vigilance. Ladies and gentlemen, again, the colossal amount of money we are talking about could have been used to provide childhood vaccines to protect innocent babies from dying from childhood diseases due to the shortage of essential vaccines. You were all in this country not too long ago, where we recorded shortages of childhood vaccines, and children died in this country because government said they didn't have money. They had to take our neighbors, Nigeria, to loan us vaccines before we could save and protect our own children. Yet, this government can waste and misappropriate 153 million Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the amount of money we are talking about, if you don't know, could have procured textbooks for basic school children who have gone 5 years without curricular-based textbooks after the introduction of a new curriculum. Again, this $12 million we are talking about, this money that we have lost to sheer greed, selfishness, and corruption, could have paid allowances of national service personnel in Ghana who have not been paid for 4 months and counting as we speak today. Additionally, this huge amount of money we are talking about could have been used to create thousands of jobs for NABCO beneficiaries who have been sent home after they were promised permanent employment. This amount of money again could have been used to provide potable drinking water or to construct several CHIP compounds or schools for children who are sitting under trees. CHIP compounds for people who cannot access healthcare in many deprived communities in Ghana. Potable water for many Ghanaians who drink cyanide polluted water. Water that animals drink from. We could have used this amount of money for these meaningful investments for the benefit of the country. Sadly, but very characteristic of the corrupt and nepotistic Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, they have distributed all this money among themselves under the guise of expenditure on an aborted, stillborn Agayapa scam. We are totally disgusted, and I believe you are too, by this wanton dissipation of public funds on a needless and useless venture by a government that rode on the back of an anti-corruption campaign into office with a promise to protect the public purse. My brothers and sisters, where did we go wrong? What crime have we committed to deserve this kind of treatment from our own leaders? Why are we being subjected to a constant abuse of our meager state resources by the ruling MPP government? At a time, many cannot even afford 1 square meal a day. At a time, our nation is faced with economic bankruptcy, marked by debt default, an all-time high unemployment rate, high interest rates, the highest in Africa, high inflation rates, and unprecedented socio-economic hardships. What crime have we committed to President Akufo-Addo and his corrupt protege, Alhaji Bawumia? The penchant of this government to hide behind crafty schemes, such as the Agayapa Deal, to steal from the people of Ghana is just too much. It is not, if it is not about mortgaging future mineral royalties for a phony offshore entity called Agayapa, then it is about dubious payment of $2 million for a phantom SkyTrain project, which never saw the light of day. From the PDS thievery orchestrated by Alhaji Bawumia, to the unconscionable Ameri Innovation Deal, all the way to the stinky SML scandal, this government has been relentless in their greedy pursuit to fleece the state coffers. Ghanaians have had enough of this Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration, which has earned the dubious distinction and reputation as the most corrupt government in the history of Ghana. Today, Ghanaians are suffering because the meager resources of the country, which are supposed to be put to judicious use for the benefit of all Ghanaians, have been hijacked by a select few. This is why today students are suffering, teachers are suffering, nurses are suffering, doctors are suffering, market women are suffering, drivers are suffering, mates are suffering, Okada riders are suffering, engineers are suffering, pastors are suffering, church members are suffering, journalists are suffering, spare parts dealers are suffering, women are suffering, men are suffering, boys are suffering, girls are suffering, children are suffering, and all of us are suffering. We are suffering because of the unprecedented corruption we are witnessing under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. It is as simple as that. The Agayapa scam, ladies and gentlemen, clearly amounts to willfully causing financial loss to the state. And the culprits must not go unpunished. I want to repeat this for emphasis. Fellow countrymen and women, the Agayapa scam clearly amounts to woefully causing financial loss to the state, and the culprits of sin must not go unpunished. We in the NDC and all well-meaning Ghanaians repose huge trust and confidence in the nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to pursue and retrieve for the state public funds that have been lost to looting schemes such as this stinking Agayapa scandal, the PDS scandal, the Bosgate scandal, and other acts of naked thievery by officials of the Kufuor Bawumia government and their party apparatchiks. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has demonstrated, both in government and out of government, that he detests corruption and will never condone corruption, nor shield the perpetrators of corrupt acts. He has stated clearly that the days of the corruption clearing agents will officially come to an end come 7th January 2025. When by the grace of God and the people of Ghana, he assumes office as president. He has said and demonstrated before that the sword of the fight against corruption will cut both ways under his government, no matter whose ox is God, whether you belong to his government or not. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, same cannot be said about our main opponents in the upcoming 2024 general elections. I am talking about Alhaji Mahama Bawumia, the failed vice president and chair of the economic management team, the clueless driver's mate, and the discredited flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, who has proven to be not only dishonest, but very corrupt. This is the man who orchestrated the stinky PDS scandal by deliberately and illegally relaxing the condition precedent of a bank guarantee, thereby aiding PDS to defraud Ghanaians to the tune of 1.5 billion Ghana cedis in electricity tariffs alone. According to the Institute of Economic Affairs, IEA, Ghana lost a whopping $2 billion from this scandal, which was orchestrated by Bawumia alone. Again, this is the man who was named in the announced number 12 investigations and fingered in the Galamsey economy documentary by Kwesi Nyantechi and Charles Adubuahin, respectively, as a collector, arranger, fixer, and receiver of appearance fees, also known as bribes. There's a man who attempted to steal 10 containers of rice belonging to a Ghanaian businessman for Ramadan donations through his director of administration, Wan Kekose. As we speak, the said director of administration is being prosecuted by the Office of Special Prosecutor, yet he still works with the Office of the Vice President. There's a man who continues to lie through his teeth to Ghanaians without any restraint or shame. And I can go on and on and on. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, the fact is simple. The appearance fee merchant Bawumia cannot be trusted to fight corruption because he is himself corrupt. The only way Ghanaians can get to the bottom of the litany of corruption acts and scandals involving officials of this government, including Bawumia himself, is for the good people of Ghana to resoundingly boot the MPP out of office on 7th December 2024. In so doing, our surest bet of exacting genuine accountability will be to vote overwhelmingly for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC to enable us pursue true accountability, which has been missing in our national affairs in the last 7 to 8 years. My brothers and sisters, I stand here with the full blessing of the next President of the Republic of Ghana, Inshallah, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to inform you, and by extension the good people of Ghana, that the next NDC government will investigate the stinky $12 million Agayapa scandal, retrieve all illegal payments made under same, and ensure that all the perpetrators are prosecuted. The day of accountability and reckoning is fast approaching, and no one found culpable will be left off the hook by the next NDC Mahama government. This is a solemn pledge and our charge to keep when, by the grace of God and the good people of Ghana, the NDC assumes the reins of government in 2025. We call on the Ghanaian electorates not to allow President Akufo-Addo and his corrupt cabal of family and friends install as president their puppet, Alhaji Bawumia, whose sole mission is to cover up the many ills of this remarkably corrupt administration and insulate wrongdoers, including himself, from prosecution and punishment. We are absolutely confident in the Ghanaian people to rise to the occasion and reject corruption, reject nepotism, reject impunity, reject arrogance of power, reject economic mismanagement. Come 7th December 2024. Enough of the corruption, enough of the thievery, enough of the abuse of the public purse, which continues to impose untold hardships and suffering on the entire nation. Enough is enough. Thank you for your attention, and thanks for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me do it. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the custom is, I did this English presentation, I believe, in about 30 minutes, but I will try and use 10-15 minutes to summarize the presentation in the three dialects for the benefit of the account stations who are streaming this press conference live. When we are done and you still have questions, we will give you the opportunity to answer that. Thank you for your understanding. Abusuafo a yeshia yeda mu nyina mo ase se yeto yansa frame mu miriti ya wo maba. Ene ye frame a na asem we wo ho ne se na wotwe atwa mi wo mrahye bedwam. Public Accounts Committee a omona Auditor General ye ihwehwemu efa oman Ghana isikasem eho a ode ne krata ekogya won no omo ene impenyufo a ewo Mineral Income Investment Fund MIF for edinkita ho about the 2022 Auditor General report wa ababeto Parliament for enim. Na emra ye toto opanyimpa a odasa adwumayeko ya no ye toto na no no mrahye bedwafo ewo Public Accounts Committee su bisa ne se ora eye Agayapa Deal na aban hyehye se ode ba be ye adwuma amaso no anye bia sika sen e na oman no asen wo ora no bie na no a o se sika nko o ma sen wo sa Agayapa Deal ne ho no eye kwasi broni America sika no $12 million. What they buy in Ghana sika ni mu a opepe ohadronum miensa 153 million cedis. Now the court it sika ni mu a eya opepe pepe ohadronum miensa na akire. Chite sika nko a aban ne se Agayapa Deal na akura se makamenwe deal na amaso a Ghana for ye nya so mfaso bia no e ka nko mabɔ no ho no no sa asɛm wei e ya awrewosɛm kɛse e ya asɛm a ehu ye NDC for de abɔ ye pusa esan sɛ asɛm isati ye de ani de akire e gina ma ɔman no koma ɔman no ye ne civil society organizations bebree ye magana for ene aban te ase sɛ sa deal na enya Agayapa Deal e ye Agaboni deal. Esan se nipa kakra bi a wa ban ni mu na afa kunturu ase ne fakadam kwan so se oman no ya gudi a onyame e de ache yen fom wa gudi ti se gold your bauxite, your manganese. Aban bi aba no wababa bejeje hu sika kakra no de aye o man ni yie no sa MPP foi afa frakadam kwan so mpese omo jeje sika ni nyina carry forward no mu di sika ne ne no mu ne o mabusuafo fa na nchirima beba no na ye gold na ehye fom no yaton ye bauxite no yaton manganese no yaton sika no so a ye di Agayapa no na se kire nyina no enti ye ka se ye nti ase da ye ho press conferences empo asemi kotom ra hye bedwam ye mra hye bedwafo e wo ho sa mre no ye wura na dusu na na da wona no omo bogu ye eto abetia ye ba se na munyina munim ya anom no omo sinkete se omo bebo man no kro no a omo de hu nya omo hu wo ye de enkra omo beye enti omo do so chen ye enti they approve the deal na mo be kaya ye gusu ye deda ma special prosecutor no o sa amre no Martina Midu oye na adwen so be hwehwe asem ni mo odon sem ni mo asuko no o de beto abonten se the NDC ni civil society organizations e ka no e no kura trodo na se wo hwe Agayapa ni mu yi a procurement mra ye tietia so ye mra fa ye constitution ye sikasa mu nyina ye tietia so enti de omo ye ni ye dream katahye ne proye. In fact, se Ghana for bekaya say Agayapa deal we nti na Martina Midu resign ye. Agayapa deal we no kopa wontoma akufu ado ma ne pressure oni Bawumia o se adwuma no kra wonye biem wagyae because of open akuno. Ma ne beka kire yen se akufu ado ye wo maame wo primary maame mother serpent of corruption. Sa asemu ya. Enti Martina Midu de ne report bae no. O ma penya akufu ado je ne ho enye because when we say mrano edino and also we dey akurase maka menwe yenti matwe asensan yenkoto 2020 abamra na ban ebehu di obeye afa ho e dey yen ka bi nhiem yente hwe ya anwe ho da se ade a nko mo peso mo ya ma mo kwa mo anye no ombe baba be ka kire ekwansi ma se o ma bo ho ka 153 million cedis equivalent to 1.5 trillion. Ni enim da kopem se Auditor General's report equal parliament. Na mo be kaya sikei Martina Midu adi kaya me ehun se eye nipa binum wa ban we mu a omo ne omampanya Kufuado ne Bawumia wa pam ena se sikei akwa akodi omo. Ansa na asem we beto abonten kura no no wa ka kire se sika ni bi ye de ama African Legal Associates eye omampanya Kufuado ne maame nuaba Gabi Ochiridako ne law firm ne ye de sika ni bi so ama Ken Kuntunkunku Oforiata former finance minister ono so Kufuado maame nuaba the company aye from data bank so mo ye transaction advisors abra sa company si nyina no omo ni contract papa bia edim wo mbrem na che na nyina so papa bia ni wa ewo ho a ewo senka ye gina so e de aban sika titiri die sa e de ma wo ene omo nkire ye de omo de sa sika nyina ya omo ze omo de tua consultancy fees omo ze omo de rented dan abusuan for 153 million cedis ye de rented dan ye de high dan omo di sika no asɛ ne kwa omo che sika no e de ama wo na ye de ya asɛm a ye ka ne sɛ enne sɛ wo hwɛ ebra ye wom ahokyera ye wom konana ye wom nipa ebre wo mayimu emu nurses emu doctorfo emu teacherfo emu nsemtwofo emu asofo enkoda emmabunu ene de keka ho a ye bra ye bre ahokyera ye kom adwuma ye nya bi nye sika ye ne ye botom nyina ya de baako eye krono kata hyehye pro ye ne dwirima ekoso no because sika was ye de oman ni ye emede ye yo ahoto ebre ye nyina no omampenya Kufuado ne nabusuanfo kakra bi Bawumia ne nabusuanfo kakra bi agi sika na kentanso eno nti ne ye ebre no because sika o ma fei 153 million cedis enye sika ketwa abusuanfo opepepepe ahadu onum yensa ne akire se ufa sa sika we Now we say kidney patients I work Ghana I know mun to mean to your dialysis fees e wo kolebu. Udi tua omu nyina fees amom wo betimi de tua omu nyina fees bra fe. Wo be free kidney treatment for Ghana for what I ni nyina. Enne enkodan ketenkete a enche kra na yenya vaccines. Emma wo mo say ye de bebo mo ban free intenchem ne childhood diseases. Enkra mofra yare no. Ebetimi atosa nnuro ni nyina ba bebiri aka. Sa sikei ye mofra wo suku mu a ene wege impo ye se nkra de da form because empani ho. Basic schools in Kratiti Nuyase. 5 years in the basic schools, in fact, you had the new curriculum aba, and so you see counter textbooks, Emma Koda. A better than you more free about being penny pa. And they see a human you Tinap Kufu, you had your mocha 9 months, the Intimintia, or Mutifia Bissine, Sikay Kebet me the Abia Juma Momenia Biaye. National Service for my Juma. Best about so many na yakobo so many numni yentua omoka omala waka kra bi na ye less than 1,000 cedis impo yenya sika ye betua teacher training allowances yentua nursing training allowances omoka so betua yentua oka bibi aban sika ni ho ena nipa etimi hwere omonkwa because say ya to kolebu renal unit mu. Yes, I buy the Kolebuka 4 million. I buy it in India. But we can waste 153 million on corruption. Bonne ben ya dia ya kufuado ne Bawumia. Bonne ben ya dia yomo. Se Ghana e ya kufuado onu ane Agayapa. Ghana ya Bawumia nka se Agayapa. Nka wo be fa 153 million cedis. We dia se no kwa. Ye bisa wa wo dia hindan. Wo dia tua consultancy fees. For ade a waya Eswa manfa swa magana phobia. Sa corruption scandal we been see Ghana bakosemu da. Na minimum maya e wo wiase a obi betumi aye sa de we afa ne ho adi. Na na de ye ka ne se de o maye no o mama Ghana hwiri sika titiri die. Eye krono kese we e chen am robbery. Krono kese e no mo de abo man no. Na sika no mafa no eye nipa nkwa no mafa. Because Sika nke ebetumi de asi hospitals e de asani pa ya de no uwi a uchen wudi ni kura sika ye betumi de ayo man ne uwi a uchen am robber enu ti ye de ye gina ha ye ka ne say this is a case of woefully causing financial loss to the state na nya de a ombefa omo ho adi ye wura ya de nyina impuntunyuma wura His Excellency John Dramani Mahama say ye mo Ghana fo amane na obi ante Titru Alhaji Bawumia. Say inshallah oba na okitana ketu ya debre ubia. Sika no mafa no ye beye mu hwehwemu. Baby ehye bia ye beje di ama oman no. They will not get away with 1 pesewa of this money. Mark my words. We will retrieve the monies near the 24-hour economy. Ye be retrieve this sika no near the national apprenticeship program. I'm a Ghana for Mupensa Numa, or Momupe Numa, and Yabiaye. That is what the NDC stands for. In Jabusian for Yadamwa Samaba. Now the Aka chat to say, you Mahama and Kwani bit Yakasa say you. Because or no or see our yo. And a Katajana proya so dear. And ne Mahama and Nipakabia. Moamunim or Wakunyaso. None a second who for no trouble and Kumchenifa. Mrandi diwa a due on Kasawa and the party ninti wa clear. Or no one corruption clearing agents. Into all mamma clear will be a. They said they are not here Konyasoa. Corruption scandals a CAB or Sherman Remuko so. My agency says he can in Ama or minor. May I be a such a pama or more. No more this and 7 phone. This time around, he will not shield anybody. Na Moamun himself Panadia. Jack Toronto Nuaketuano. Enya dia ono de obetumi aka bibi say because ono katajehye ne proye no ne nan sim ne nsa sim na no sim na fu sim e na ne to so ye den esim Alhaji Bawumia asem ne yeken ono na omampenye kufu ado no katajehye ne proye duane na ye de ma no ma ne kocheche ma ministers no enti ono on to me nka so be fight corruption because oye very corrupt mo angaza munim PDS Eti kromwa na Bawumia kofa Afrika damfo bi More de fake documents ebeji ECG boss. JJ light bills in 1.5 billion cedis. Besinne the light bills ne biane meka kana fonsa. Alaji Bawumia ntimi nye wonhwe. The same Bawumia mo bekai. Anas irimi ya wanas ko ye galamse economy wiwemu ye che Minister of State Charles Adubuahe. Se oka se Bawumia de opo bi oje bribe presidency class captain. The bribe no so onye ni cedis, oje ne dollars, $200,000 appearance fee. Eno na ama cedi no kra na ni ahoden no. Abusianfo, another documentary here koye ya by the same Anas. A mampenye kufuado o position oka so de ne principle be ko ati akata acheche ne proye. Na yasan so achi Bawumia nyantachi se ono so Bawumia de ope bribe ba. The same Bawumia and then the dimfu fro a rice master. Esan say businessman dia odene mo aba o my Ghana mu 10 containers of lily rice. Ewo pots. Yes say wa ma meyi this 60 days. And nti wa start ye won krata se makotua hu duty akoje ne mo. Onkonkore a owura Bawumia office atwere letter ba se mo no o mampanyi abedi eche Bawumia hia o de kwa koye achiriwia donation, Ramadan donation. Abuziafo unsuru ala kronwa de ye de yadoye for Ramadan. Haram kesiye se abuziafo. Yes, so omumu amuzo na Bawumia ni mo hwe na letter no abrantie bi won office keke se on etre ne director of administration. Asema mi ke no kretro do wa di nwachi nya bia gugu ubehu me no ka say special prosecutor gina court wa or prosecutors abrantie ye di na asem de den abrantie no so ye Kristo ni so de o de Ramadan mo ye de nti si den na Bawumia be ka say Kristo ni na ehia mo no abrasa mre no na ye di Ramadan na abuzianfo mu ntie ni ye o say abrantie na nkasa na ewia ne mo a say Kristo ni owia mo akocha ma Ramadan fo a identity till date Bawumia a wagu nanimu ase oda so ni owura ne ye adwuma wo ne office imprimprin ya ye kese identity a penyufo se opanyin tire fie ma sefu amfo e no opanyin o tire fie ma mofrawe na nka na ebu na nkawefo a oka ho de ntia on to me country nchira brantia ne se wonim se oya abrantia ne bete ne to because we anya se ye ebu na nkawefo na oka ho keke ono ankasa ne soma na se onkoye ne wakwakoye. So this is a man who cannot fight corruption because he is himself corrupt. John Mahama is incorruptible. John Mahama is incorruptible. And unti and we the MP, we the deputy minister, we the minister, we the omampenyi abedi ache, we the omampenyi ababa ye former president e konfie nwotwini. Ensem wa ye kato no su nyina e ho adanse ba akokura ni wa aba. Ba akokura ni wa MPP fo atimi de ho adanse aba. Your friend Yokoda, your friend police station da. Your friend no ba kono kra de say. Your friend baby ada. And your friend nko court because ne hu so sa brobe. Obe so mo man ni ye. Ebe ye enwuma pa ene ayensa na ho. Anchiri ma nyina ba be di so mfa so. This is the man we are talking about, and this is the man who is promising say woba Sasikati 3D 1.5 trillion old cedis. Sika ya sheshegu articulator so even in 200 Ghana cedis notes. Ya just a articulator be 100. Eye sika 3D pa. Eye sika esombo na eya areho. Se ya yempanyimfo a yato aba ma wo mo. Omo ba omo de nsem de ba omo beto ye mrade mo nso ye hwe mo nso ye hwe. Enne omo de sa akro no edi yen. Omo ka chere nse ba ko ka chere nse wanyini too much so be wia yisika o say I'm too old to steal your money sa na ono de o chen eni ti abusuafo ye frame a na de wo nyina no no mama ma ye nka ya no ntum because Ghana is the only country we have. Monsem trofo mo na mo